Right.
One way or the other.
Good evening. I call to order this meeting of the Winston-Salem City Council and ask the City Secretary to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Larson.
Present.
Councilmember Clark. Councilmember Bessie.
Here.
Councilmember Montgomery. Mayor Pro Tem Berg.
Here.
Councilmember Adams.
Here.
Councilmember McIntosh.
Here.
Councilmember Taylor.
Present.
Thank you. We do have two of our council members who are out of the country tonight on business, and so we wish them well. Would you please join the City Council with me in a moment of silence? Thank you very much. Would you, City Council, join the City Council with me in our Pledge of Allegiance? And tonight we have with us Pack 715 from Fairview Moravian Church. Gentlemen, if you'd like to come up front and lead us in the pledge, it would be great. So would the audience please join the City Council with me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scouts, thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for leading us in the pledge. Our Sergeant at Arms tonight is Lieutenant Ed Bradshaw. Lieutenant, it's good to have you with us tonight as well. Tonight's agenda of the City Council is comprised of the following items. We have an economic development item, an item declaring the opioids crisis a public nuisance and authorizing filing a civil action. And we have two items making recommendations to boards and commissions. The economic development item is listed as a public hearing, and when this hearing is called, persons in the council chamber will be given an opportunity to speak. If no one wishes to speak, I'll close the public hearing and the City Council will consider the item. We are televising this meeting live tonight on TV 13, and it will be replayed on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and again Wednesday at 9 p.m. Copies of our agenda as well as videos are always available to members of the public by going to the city's website and just click on the Watch Meetings Online option. May we have the first item, please?
Item Z1, public hearing and resolution approving financial assistance to the Clearinghouse. This item was recommended by the Finance Committee.
Before we do the public hearing, I'm going to ask our Assistant City Manager, Mr. Page, to give us just a brief summary of this action, please.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This item authorizes financial assistance of $147,834 to the Clearinghouse over a 5-year period. The assistance is equal to 50% of the net new taxes that be generated by the company over that 5-year period. So in essence, 50% of that assistance would go to the company, 50% will come to the city in new general fund taxes to be used for general fund purposes by local government. In return for the financial assistance, the company will invest $25 million, create 50 new jobs with an average wage of $98,000 plus. Currently, they are located in Winston-Salem, employing about 175 people. Of that 175 people, 22% of these currently live in Winston-Salem. 18% live in Forsyth County, so 40% of the 175 currently live in the county. 21% of the current workforce is African American. 36% of the total workforce are minorities, and 32% of the workforce is female. To further show their commitment to the community, the company has agreed to hold a job fair in the community, as well as meet with representatives from Winston-Salem State University, talk about possible partnership opportunities. Representatives from the company are here this evening, and Mark Owens from the Chamber of Commerce is also here.
Good. Thank you.
Happy to answer any questions
Any
you may
questions
have.
for Mr. Page? Councilmember Burke.
Yes, did you tell us what kind of jobs?
So the jobs vary. They're primarily in the technology field. Councilmember Burke do have some in real estate, but primarily in the technology field because of the type of company that they are. Those jobs are corporate real estate, operations and technology, product development and strategy, and risk management are the areas that those jobs will be in.
After they hire the people, I would like for us to know really how diverse it is.
Good. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Page. This is a public hearing. Would anyone in the council chamber like to be heard on this particular item? Mr. Owens? If you would please state your name and address for the record, please. And again, welcome to Winston-Salem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mark Owens. Our address is 411 West 4th Street, right here in Winston-Salem. Good evening, members of council, Mayor Pro Tem, and Mayor Joins. Good evening. Again, my name is Mark Owens, President CEO of the Winston-Salem Chamber. I'm here to support the Clearinghouse request for assistance to expand their operations in Winston-Salem and our county. They are a vital and growing business in our community and are committed to expand with 50 new full-time jobs at an average wage of over $98,000 in our community. They're a high-tech, high-wage project that we like to support as we expand and enhance our business offerings in our community for all members of our community. We have company representatives here with us if you have questions. We have Stacy Davis, Jim Yancey, and Daryl Walsh. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. Would anyone else like to be heard on this particular item? Thank you for the members of the company being here as well as. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed, and it did come out of the Finance Committee unanimous recommendation. Councilmember Clark is not here. I'm going to call on the Vice Chairman. Councilmember Adams, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I move for approval of the resolution for financial assistance to the Clearinghouse.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion? Councilmember Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I just want to say that these jobs are in Forsyth County, but particularly they are in the Southeast Ward, the ones we'll be relocating and creating. So I want to thank the owners of the company and the operators of the company for being here and for your support for the city of Winston-Salem. As you know, in the area, we've made a significant investment with the quarry, with Salem Lake, with some of the housing opportunities, with some of the shopping and retail opportunities. We do need to get better, and I think we'll do that, but it takes good partnerships like the one that I'm seeing here. So I guess on behalf of the council and the members of the Southeast Ward, we thank you for what you do, and I'll certainly be supporting. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Larson.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Council members, could Mr. Davis come forward? Somebody from this company. I wanted a face to put onto this organization, which I think the city is incredibly proud of, to add to a mix of our economy and the commitment that seemingly is being made. I know you've been in front of council, in front of county commissioners. I realize they've recently endorsed you, and I wanted to personally look at you, and I want you to look at us, and I want you to know personally how grateful we are that you're looking at Winston-Salem, and we're looking forward to having you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. Councilmember Adams.
Yes, again, welcome to Winston-Salem. Mr. Page and the new citizens or people to Winston. I'm glad that you're going to partnership with Winston-Salem State, but I guess people like me, I'm looking for a little bit more than that, and I hope you'll be inclined to indulge us as such. To partner is good to say that, but one of the things we found out when I was attending Leadership Insight, which is another level of leadership anything, North Carolina, Winston-Salem, is that we don't have the thing that most cities our size or larger have are internships. And that's what I'm interested in. If you could go try to start an internship program. Because again, if the high-tech jobs are coming and our community, particularly those who want to work in these types of fields, are not actively, even at a young age, given an opportunity to start in that direction, then the minorities, poor people, whatever, won't be able to get in the game. So I'm going to ask you if you'll do me that favor for me. Like I tell people, you don't have to start out with 100. If you start out with a good round number of 5 to 10, and it proves to be a success over a year, it's good for the company, it's good for the citizens of Winston, and it's good, again, for your brand. So again, welcome, and I hope that anything that staff can do in the Economic and Community Development Department, feel welcome to call on them to help put that piece together. But I'd love to see one of the companies coming to town step out and lead the way by example for the rest of our companies that are here in town. Again, welcome, And if you have any issues, you got 8 of us plus 1 that you can call, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Adams. And let me add my thanks to Clearinghouse. We were delighted when you made the decision to come here, I guess, 04 perhaps. I can't remember exactly, something like that. But been a great corporate citizen, and we are grateful for you being here. And for the citizens, this is a typical economic development deal, a very strong one in terms of the return on investment to the city. And it's based on performance of the company. We make our payments to the company after they make the first full year of property tax payments to us, and the jobs are certified. So our citizens are very well protected. All right, Councilmember Burke.
I sit on the Tourism Development Authority, and we're always encouraging people to come visit our lovely city and also to live in this city. So on behalf of the TDA, we welcome you.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. That is unanimous. Thank you, and we look forward. Next item, please.
Item Z2, resolution of the mayor and Winston-Salem City Council declaring the opioids crisis a public nuisance and authorizing the filing of a civil action to abate said nuisance.
I'd ask the city attorney just to say a brief word about this before we move forward.
Sure, Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem Burke, council members. What you have before you is a resolution that declares the opioids crisis a public nuisance and authorizes the filing of a civil action.
Okay. In that regard, I would recognize our chairman of the Public Safety Committee, Councilmember Taylor, if he would like to.
I'd like to make some comments after I make the motion, Mayor. I move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Taylor.
Thank you. I'll try to be as brief as possible, but everyone knows one of my favorite things to talk about is the fact that I'm born and reared in this city. And it means a lot to me to do what I do. But being in my community, I've had an opportunity firsthand to see that there was indeed a crisis before the opioid crisis, and that was with the cocaine and the crack epidemic. And it was a real epidemic, and I think this council has done a good job to do a couple of things, to look at how we support the treatment end by supporting drug court, and also look at how we support our former offenders who've made mistakes, who want to come back and reintegrate back into our community, and they've made that commitment with SOAR. But I think it's very important that we recognize that that was an epidemic, and this is one too. And it makes sense for this council to go after the manufacturers and the distributors of those who make these opioids, because it has been extremely a bad effect for many parts of our community. So with that being said, I'm glad that the city attorney, the attorneys, the council supports this particular initiative, and I'm looking forward to seeing some results. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Bessie.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is an unusual situation in that what we see in our community and communities around the nation driving a radical increase in deaths from overdoses started with a legal drug, and that continues to be part of the heart of the problem. We have an economic situation currently in which the manufacturers and distributors of this set of easily abusable drugs has had a perverse incentive to over-recommend, over-advertise, and encourage the over-prescription. I have, as I've studied this issue, become convinced that one of the most effective things we as a city can do to attack this problem is to ensure that that incentive to over-recommend, over-distribute, and end in the result of over-prescription of these medications is to change the economic situation, remove the incentive to do that. And I believe that this will be an important part of removing the economic incentive for that misuse of this category of drugs.
Thank you. All right, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, please vote no. That motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Item Z3, please.
Item Z3, resolution selecting the law firm for the opioid litigation.
Council members, two of our council members, Councilmember Adams and Councilmember Bessie, have asked to be excused from voting on this particular item to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest. So with that regard, I would entertain a motion from the council to excuse Councilmember Bessie and Councilmember Adams.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to excuse Councilmember Bessie and Councilmember Adams.
In second, please.
I'll go on in second.
Okay. All right. All in favor of that motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, vote no. Councilmember Bessie and Councilmember Adams are excused from voting. And now we do have under item Z3, selecting the firm, we do have two firms that have proposed to us, and the city attorney has reviewed those, and I think it's up to the council which one. And again, I would call on Councilmember Taylor if he's ready for a motion as from the chairman of the Public Safety Committee.
Mayor, members of the council, we've had an opportunity to extensively review the qualifications of all of the attorneys who've wanted to sign up to this. I feel, just based on the home connection, that the law firm of Garrett Whitaker and the attorneys that are associated around that particular organization would be the best for us to move forward with this litigation. So with that being said, I move for approval of selecting the law firm of Garrett Whitaker.
Second. Motion second. Discussion. Councilmember. Oh, you second it? Okay, good. Any discussion? When it comes up, we will vote on it. Okay, we do have a motion and second. Those who are in favor of this motion to select the firm with Mr. Whitaker and his associates, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Motion passes with 4 in favor, 1 recused, and 1 abstained. I guess they're both abstained.
You're both excused.
Both would be excused. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Whitaker. All right, item Z4, please.
Item Z4, Mayor joins recommendations for appointments and reappointment to the Planning Board. Johnny Seeger's appointment, term expiring February 2022, and Melinda Dunnigan, reappointment, term expiring February 2022.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Item Z5.
Item Z5, Mayor joins recommendations for reappointments to the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. William Kay and Randon Pender, both with terms expiring March 2021.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. Thank you. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. I want to entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second for adjournment. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. We are adjourned.